Welcome back to the Calm Mind channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's become increasingly relevant in our digital age: oversharing. In a world where every meal, every outing, every thought can be broadcasted to the world with a click of a button, it's important to take a step back and consider the implications. We've all seen it, and maybe even done it ourselves, sharing personal details, thoughts, and experiences on social media platforms. But have you ever stopped to think about the potential consequences of this oversharing? In today's video, we're going to explore the importance of privacy, how it cultivates our sense of self, and empowers us as individuals. We'll discuss why it's crucial to know when and where to be discreet and vulnerable with others, and we'll delve into specific areas of our lives that should remain private. From our goals and financial status to our relationships and the secrets we've been entrusted with, we'll discuss why these things should be kept private and the potential harm that can come from oversharing. So, let's get started. It's time to redraw the boundaries of our personal lives and learn how to protect our privacy in this oversharing society. The problem of oversharing. Let's start by understanding what oversharing really is. In simple terms, oversharing is when we disclose more personal information than is necessary or appropriate in a given situation. And in today's digital age, this happens most frequently on social media. From posting every meal we eat, to sharing our deepest thoughts at 2 a.m., to live streaming our daily routines, we've become a society that shares first and thinks later. But why is this a problem? Well, for starters, oversharing can lead to a loss of privacy. Once something is shared online, it's out there for the world to see, and it can be nearly impossible to take back. This can lead to a variety of negative consequences, from identity theft and cyberbullying to simply feeling exposed and vulnerable. Moreover, oversharing can also affect our relationships. When we share too much, too soon, it can make others uncomfortable and even damage our connections with them. In essence, oversharing can lead to a loss of control over our own narratives and personal boundaries. It's a problem that's becoming increasingly prevalent, and it's one that we need to address. So, how do we tackle this issue? The first step is understanding the value of privacy, which is what we'll explore next. The value of privacy. Now that we've discussed the problem of oversharing, let's delve into the value of privacy. Privacy is more than just keeping secrets, it's about protecting and cultivating our sense of self. Think of your private life as a circle you draw around your inner world. This circle creates a boundary between you and everyone else, allowing you to develop your thoughts, feelings, and experiences without external influence. Privacy empowers us. It gives us the freedom to be ourselves, to explore our identities, and to validate our experiences without seeking approval or validation from others. When we maintain our privacy, we're able to grow and evolve in a space that's uniquely ours. We can make mistakes, change our minds, and explore different aspects of our identities without fear of judgment or criticism. But privacy isn't just about self-discovery and growth. It's also about protection. By keeping certain aspects of our lives private, we can protect ourselves from potential harm. This could be anything from avoiding identity theft to protecting our mental health from the potential negative effects of oversharing. In essence, privacy is a valuable commodity in our increasingly connected world. It's something we should cherish and protect. And that starts by understanding what should and shouldn't be shared. Knowing when and where to share. So, we've talked about the problem of oversharing and the value of privacy. But how do we strike a balance? How do we know when and where to be discreet and when to be vulnerable with others? It's all about understanding the context and considering the potential consequences. Before you share something, ask yourself, who will see this? How might they react? Could this information be used against me or harm me in any way? It's also important to consider the platform you're using. Different platforms have different audiences and norms. What's appropriate to share on one platform might not be on another. For example, LinkedIn is a professional networking site, so it's not the place to share your personal problems or your latest party pictures. On the other hand, sharing personal experiences or thoughts might be more acceptable on platforms like Facebook or Instagram, but even then, discretion is key. Remember, being vulnerable is not the same as oversharing. Vulnerability involves sharing personal experiences or feelings in a way that fosters connection and empathy. Oversharing, on the other hand, often involves sharing unnecessary details or information without considering the potential impact. In essence, knowing when and where to share is about being mindful and respectful, both of your own privacy and the comfort of others. Now that we've established some general guidelines, let's delve into specific areas of our lives that should remain private. Keeping goals private. Let's start with our goals. We all have ambitions and dreams that we're working towards, and it can be tempting to share these with others. But did you know that sharing your goals too early can actually hinder your progress? Research has shown that when we share our goals, we can experience a premature sense of completion. This is because the praise and validation we receive from sharing can trick our brains into thinking we've already achieved our goal, reducing our motivation to actually work towards it. Moreover, sharing your goals can expose your ambitions to the judgments of others. While some people may be supportive, others may be critical or dismissive, which can be discouraging. Keeping your goals private allows you to focus on your progress without external distractions or influences. It gives you the space to adjust and adapt your goals as needed without fear of judgment or criticism. Of course, this doesn't mean you should never share your goals. Sharing can be beneficial for accountability or support, but it's important to be selective. Share with people who you trust and who will support and encourage you, rather than those who might judge or discourage you. In essence, keeping your goals private can help protect your motivation and ambition, allowing you to work towards your dreams at your own pace and on your own terms. Privacy in wealth and finances. Next on our list is wealth and finances. Money is a sensitive topic for many people, and for good reason. Sharing details about your financial status can lead to a variety of uncomfortable and potentially expensive situations. For instance, if you share that you've come into a large sum of money, you might find yourself inundated with requests for loans or gifts. On the other hand, if you share that you're struggling financially, you might become a target for scams or exploitation. Moreover, discussing wealth can create tension and jealousy. It can lead to comparisons and judgments that can strain relationships. Keeping your financial status private can help you avoid these issues. It allows you to manage your money on your own terms, without external pressure or judgment. Of course, this doesn't mean you should never discuss money. Financial literacy is important, and discussing general financial strategies and tips can be beneficial. But when it comes to the specifics of your financial status, your income, your savings, your debts, it's generally best to keep these details private. In essence, privacy in wealth and finances is about protecting yourself and your relationships. It's about maintaining control over your financial life and making decisions based on your own needs and goals, rather than external pressures or expectations. Avoiding destructive criticism. Moving on, let's talk about criticism. We all have opinions, and sometimes, those opinions can be negative. But sharing destructive criticism, especially publicly, can lead to tension and conflict in relationships. Destructive criticism is criticism that tears down rather than builds up. It focuses on flaws and weaknesses without offering any constructive feedback or solutions. When we share destructive criticism, we risk hurting others and damaging our relationships with them. Moreover, sharing destructive criticism can reflect poorly on us. It can make us seem negative and judgmental, which can harm our reputation and relationships. Keeping destructive criticism to ourselves allows us to maintain positive relationships and a positive reputation. It gives us the opportunity to reflect on our opinions and consider whether they're helpful or harmful, necessary or unnecessary. Of course, this doesn't mean we should never share criticism. Constructive criticism can be beneficial and help others grow and improve. But it's important to ensure that our criticism is truly constructive, that it's respectful, helpful, and solution-oriented. In essence, avoiding destructive criticism is about being respectful and considerate of others. It's about fostering positive relationships and contributing to a positive environment. Defending friends' privacy. Another important aspect of privacy is respecting and defending the privacy of others, especially our friends. When a friend confides in us, they're entrusting us with a part of their private life. It's our responsibility to respect and protect that trust. Sharing a friend's secrets or private information without their consent is a breach of trust. It can harm your friend, damage your relationship, and even lead to serious consequences, such as bullying or harassment. Moreover, defending a friend's privacy also means standing up for them when others are prying or spreading rumors. It's about being an ally and a safe space for your friends. Respecting and defending your friend's privacy helps build trust and strengthen your relationships. It shows your friends that they can rely on you and that their secrets are safe with you. Remember, everyone has a right to privacy, and it's important to respect that right, even when the person isn't present. If a friend has shared something with you in confidence, keep it to yourself and defend their right to privacy if it's being violated. In essence, defending your friend's privacy is about respect, trust, and loyalty. It's about being a good friend and a trustworthy confidant. Keeping relationship details private. Let's now turn our attention to relationships. Whether it's a romantic relationship, a family relationship, or a friendship, the details of our relationships are often deeply personal and sensitive. Sharing these details can lead to potential backlash and harm to the individuals involved. When we share details about our relationships, we're not just sharing our own private information, we're also sharing the private information of the other person involved. This can lead to feelings of betrayal, embarrassment, or hurt. Moreover, sharing relationship details can invite unwanted opinions and advice. It can lead to judgments and assumptions that can add stress and tension to the relationship. Keeping relationship details private allows you to navigate your relationships on your own terms. It gives you the space to work through issues and celebrate successes without external interference. Of course, this doesn't mean you should never discuss your relationships. Sometimes, seeking advice or support can be beneficial. But it's important to be selective about what you share and who you share it with. And always consider the other person's feelings and privacy before you share. In essence, keeping relationship details private is about respecting the privacy and feelings of all parties involved. It's about navigating your relationships in a way that's respectful, considerate, and mindful. Conclusion. We've covered a lot of ground today, discussing the problem of oversharing and the importance of privacy in our increasingly connected world. We've explored specific areas of our lives that should remain private, from our goals and finances to our relationships and the secrets entrusted to us by friends. We've learned that privacy is not just about keeping secrets, but about protecting and cultivating our sense of self. It's about drawing a circle around our inner world, creating a boundary that allows us to grow, evolve, and validate ourselves without external influence. We've also learned that knowing when and where to share is about being mindful and respectful. It's about considering the potential consequences of our sharing and respecting the comfort and privacy of others. And we've discussed the importance of keeping certain aspects of our lives private, from our goals and financial status to our relationships and the secrets we've been entrusted with. By doing so, we can protect ourselves, our relationships, and our sense of self. In conclusion, privacy is a valuable commodity in our oversharing society. It's something we should cherish and protect. And that starts with understanding what should and shouldn't be shared, and respecting the privacy of others as well as our own. Thank you for joining us in this important discussion. We hope you found it insightful and helpful. Remember, your privacy is valuable. Protect it.